There's a new John in town. Composting toilets are the greatest thing since indoor plumbing. In fact, they don't need any plumbing at all, so they can go where traditional toilets do not. They are little waste treatment machines. They turn the unpleasant business of sewage into something more agreeable: garden fertilizer. This composting toilet works a bit of magic with sewage. It transforms the solids into compost and makes the liquids disappear. Making this toilet starts with a composting tank. A worker sprays fiberglass into a mold of the tank. Then, he and another member of the team press out air trapped between the fiberglass and mold surface. Once the part cures, a blast of compressed air loosens it from the mold, and he lifts it out. It's a bit ragged around the rim, so they do a basic trim. He drills holes in the tank for installing fittings. Using a pneumatic circular blade, he slices a hole for the compost drawer. And he grinds the rim to precise measurements. He screws two overflow fittings into a threaded hole on the back of the tank. He seals the fittings with epoxy from the other side of the tank wall. This epoxy seal will prevent leaks. Moving down the line, another worker sprays adhesive on the bottom of the composting tank. He presses an aluminum panel to it. This panel will radiate heat from a heating element he installs over it. It will heat the evaporation chamber in the tank to dissipate liquids. He places fiberglass insulation over the heater and encases it with a molded fiberglass cover. He wires the heater and installs a thermostat that will regulate the heat and also shut off the system if the temperature drops below or exceeds the threshold. He turns the composting toilet tank right side up to await further assembly. Meanwhile, another worker assembles the fan for exhausting the evaporated fluids and any odors. He inserts the motor shaft in a hole in the fan door so that it protrudes inside. He then screws the motor to the outside of the door. Next, he assembles the centrifugal blower to the motor shaft. He installs a plastic shroud. It surrounds the fan, protecting the blades and directing airflow. At the next station, a worker prepares the drum in which solid waste will be converted to compost by aerobic decomposition. He fastens a stainless steel screen to an opening in the drum. Liquid waste will drain through this screen and into the evaporation chamber. Once evaporated, the fan will expel it through the vent stack. He now places the drum in the tank. Bearings elevated so it sits just above the evaporation chamber. He fits a plastic top to the tank and screws the two components together. He inserts a metal shaft with gears, engaging them with grooves on the outside of the drum. He inserts the fan into an opening at the back and secures it. He wires the fan to the power source. He installs a cover to protect the wiring, and he connects the shaft to a handle at the front. It rotates the drum to mix the contents and introduce air so that the aerobic microorganisms will thrive. After electrical and other tests, a worker installs the drawer for the finished compost. She fastens a seat to the base with nylon nuts and bolts with caps. She inserts a plastic liner in the bowl, and this completes the composting toilet. By turning human waste into compost, things will eventually end up smelling like roses.